Now I'm in discussion and explanation of the powers and functions of the Prime Minister. In the previous video, we studied only two functions, that is the relationship he has with the President, then the relationship which he has with the Council of Ministers. We discussed about the subcategories of Council of Ministers, that is the Cabinet Ministers, the Ministers of State with independent charge, and the Ministers of State separately. Now in this, we'll continue with the powers and functions of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister and his relation with the Cabinet or the Council of Ministers. What is his relationship? In the relation to the Cabinet or the Council of Ministers, the Prime Minister possesses the following powers. Now see, whatever these powers are, they are again a subcategory of his main powers. Number one, he forms the Council of Ministers and determines its size, the category of ministers and the portfolios. The Prime Minister's decision is final in such matters. So when the Council of Ministers is formed, it's the Prime Minister who decides first of all how many members he wants in his council, right? Second, he decides their position, who all will hold certain charge. There are different positions. Who's going to be taking care of what area, whatever. There are many categories. So he is the person who decides who he is going to keep in charge of what. Next, the Prime Minister can remove a minister from the Cabinet or the Council by asking him or her to resign. He can reallocate portfolios. So another function, another power that the Prime Minister has is he can decide whether he wants to remove a certain member, or he can transfer them, or he can change their position or their portfolio, what they would say, in his Council of Ministers. The Prime Minister calls for meetings on the Council of Ministers, presides over them and decides the agenda. Now, when there is a meeting held, it is the Prime Minister who calls for that meeting. He sits over that meeting and he decides whether that is of importance. If there is an agenda behind it, it is the Prime Minister. Remember, he is the head of all of this. He has the final say. Then the fourth subheading of his relationship with the Cabinet and the Council of Ministers is the Prime Minister coordinates the policies and the working of the different departments of the government to ensure that all departments work according to the set policies and decisions of the Cabinet. Now remember, in the previous chapter, we had the legislature. Certain laws are made. It is the Prime Minister. He is the executive person. So what is his power? What is his duty? It is his duty to coordinate, to make sure that different sections in the government are working together. He has to create a unison. He has to create that smooth flow that everybody works together. There is no unnecessary clash between departments, and he has to work with the Cabinet and all the members, so that people of the country are benefited. See, remember, the main criteria for having all these set up, all these prime ministers or presidents or ministers or whatever, is so that the country is progressing, so that laws are in place, people are following those laws make sense, and only then can the country progress. If people themselves, if there's chaos and confusion in the country itself, you cannot expect the country to run smoothly. The leaders have to be working together. Only then can they rule over the country. If they themselves are fighting among themselves, where will the people listen to them? You understand? So it's the Prime Minister who has to coordinate and see that everybody works together, and the functioning of the government is run smoothly. Now, the third relation is with the Parliament. The Prime Minister's relationship with the Parliament. The Prime Minister is the leader of the Lok Sabha. Most important thing, he is the leader of the Lok Sabha. The Prime Minister is the chief spokesman of the government in the Parliament. So whenever anybody has to say anything, discussions are made, the most important opinion that matters, a verdict that matters, is of the Prime Minister. He is the chief spokesman. He talks, he decides, and he gives his opinion, and his opinion matters. The Prime Minister makes all important announcements of the government policies on the floor of the houses. So if there's any discussion that has been made and there has to be an announcement that has to be made, it is the Prime Minister who does that. on the floor of the houses where the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha are there. That means in the parliament. He makes his announcement, whatever decision he has. Then you have the Prime Minister and his role with foreign affairs. Now, what role does the Prime Minister have with other countries? That means there's international powers. There is a Minister of Foreign Affairs, yet the Prime Minister has a significant role in these matters as noted below. Now, we have an elected minister who takes care of all the foreign affairs. But the Prime Minister is also important when these kind of matters are dealt with. The Prime Minister represents India in international conferences. He goes to the UNO, Commonwealth, the SAARC, the non-aligned nations meeting, and puts forward India's point of view before the world leaders. He may visit any country to improve India's conditions or to solve outstanding issues. He is the chief architect of India's foreign policy. Now see what happens out here is when India is dealing on an international platform, India interacts with different countries. That's how it becomes international. It only interacts where India has to benefit. If India is going to adversely be affected, then India will put forward its point, whatever concern is there, how other countries can work together than India. See, all countries want to improve their condition. Nobody wants to get into a situation where their country starts, falling or breaking apart. So India interacts with other countries where there's business issues, there political issues, where India needs to work with other countries so that there's peace and happiness and progress. Or if India has any shortcomings, it has to seek help from other countries so that people understand that India is dealing with a certain crisis or a problem and they help our country. So that's where our Prime Minister plays a very important role, because he is representing our country internationally. Usually the foreign ministers accompanies the Prime Minister in all the parleys or conferences. Generally what happens is the foreign ministers accompany the Prime Minister. That means the person who is in charge of the foreign affairs, he is along with the Prime Minister. Sometimes it's not necessary that every time the Prime Minister has to go, the minister who's in charge of foreign affairs, he has to be present. And sometimes they're together, sometimes they aren't. Now, the last point is the Prime Minister as the leader of the nation. This is the most important point. This is the last point of this chapter. What is his role? What are his powers as the leader of the nation? Now, he's got a very important role. That means he is the leader. And what are his functions? We'll study. The Prime Minister is acknowledged the leader of the nation as a whole. The whole nation looks up to him for leadership. That means if he is regarded as the main leader, then everybody looks up to him. Every decision he makes, everything he says matters to the people who are living in that country. That means in this place, or rather in this situation, it is India. Every decision, every announcement that our Prime Minister Narendra Singh Modi makes, all of us listen to him very attentively and we follow everything he says. He is the leader. That means we have to listen to him. We have to follow what he says. Actually, at the time of general elections, it is or against the prime ministerial candidate that the entire electorate in the country votes, though he or she is contesting for a particular constituency. Thus, we can say that in practical sense, the election of the Prime Minister is the direct choice of the votes. In other words, if the people want to choose a particular candidate as the Prime Minister, they vote for the candidate of the Prime Minister's party in their constituency. Now, basically what they're trying to say is, the Prime Minister is some way or the other directly elected by the people. How? I'll explain. See, when elections are held, we choose our party. We know who that leader of the party is. So if we like that leader, we are obviously going to vote for that party. Though we say so-and-so party is one, in this case we say the Bharatiya Janata Party is one. And we knew prior that if the BJP won, who would be the leader, who would be the Prime Minister? It would be Narendra Modi. So right now, when people are electing or rather casting votes in the Lok Sabha, they know who will be the Prime Minister if that party wins in majority. So this is the end of our chapter.